In this video, we're going to show you how to install the cooling fan on your Toyota Camry located behind the radiator. Now with the hood open, we're going to go ahead and remove this front shield. I'm going to start with a little pocket screwdriver. We need to remove the little plastic push pins. Just going to get underneath the lip right here and pop out the center piece. Once the center comes out, you can lift out the base like so. And we're going to do this for all the plastic push pins across the front here. Go ahead and lift up that cover and go ahead and set that aside. Let's go ahead and remove these two 10mm bolts. Let's use our 10mm socket to do this. Just going to grab this unit here. We're going to slide it towards the passenger side, removing this portion here from the air filter box. Go ahead and set this aside. Let's go ahead and release our hood release cable from the plastic retainer. It's just a little clip. Be careful not to flex this too much. You can break it. So gently lift and pull that cable out, popping that like so. We now want to go ahead and loosen the upper portion of our grill assembly. And there's going to be a series of plastic pins. There's one here. Using our trim tool, go ahead and pop that out. If you go over to the driver's side, it's going to be in the same location. Once we have these out, there's going to be a few 10mm bolts. We're going to use our impact driver here to go ahead and loosen and remove these. There's one right here. Come right across the front. There's a total of 4 of those bolts. That's going to allow us to go ahead and just pull this away so we can get in to access some other components a little bit easier. So by removing that hardware, that's going to allow us to separate this here because this is attached to our upper radiator support and this needs to come out. Now we're going to use our 12mm gear wrench. You can use a ratchet as well. We have 2 horns, one here on the passenger side, one on the driver's side. I want to go ahead, loosen and remove these bolts. You can unplug the horn's electrical connector underneath it, but it's tough to get your hand underneath. This is a lot easier and quicker to do. Unbolt this, let that drop away. And let's go ahead and get the one on the driver's side, doing the same process here. There it is. Now on a radiator support right here, there's going to be 2 brackets. One goes from here down at an angle, and there's one on the passenger side heading down at an angle there. These are held in place by 10mm bolts. I'm going to go ahead and use my gear wrench to loosen and remove these. All right, pull that out and do the same for the other side here. Okay, set those bolts aside. Now on the driver's side portion of our grill assembly, there's going to be these plastic components right here, and they're attached to the radiator support. I'm going to use a small pocket screwdriver, and you have to be careful doing this. You can break these, so be careful. If you pull away gently on this here, you're going to see a little tab down inside. All you have to do is use your pocket screwdriver, push down, and pop this out. There's a little clip right down here. I'm going to slide this out of the position like so. The little plastic thing is going to pop out. And you can see that it's separated. We're going to repeat this process for the passenger side. So there are 2 10mm bolts right here. We're going to go ahead and use our 10mm socket and our impact driver to loosen and remove this top one. We'll go ahead and use our gear wrench and remove the one on the front side. Now we're going to pull our grill forward a little bit, and then our plastic air diverter here that we separated earlier. We're going to pull that forward, and we're going to get right inside here. This one here is a little bit tough to get to. There it is. We're going to go ahead and repeat this process for the passenger side. Go ahead and grab our radiator support. We're going to lift this up carefully. And pull our cable off to the side. Now, just to the right of our hood latch assembly, down inside this bracket, there's going to be a plastic retainer, and it's holding a wire harness to a sensor on the front of the hood latch assembly. I'm going to use my pocket screwdriver, and we're just going to push in those little tabs and pop that harness down. And as we lift this up, we can see that the harness is right here. Now, if you can go ahead and bring this around to the side here to work on the radiator and the fan assembly. So now that we have the harness out with the connector for the sensor right here, we're going to go ahead and separate the connector here. Now, there's a possibility we may have to use a skin tool to reprogram the sensor itself, so be prepared for that. I'm going to pinch on this little tab right here and separate that like so. And we should be able to go ahead and take the support and just swing that out of the way. Now, on the driver's side of the radiator cooling fan assembly, we have the wire harness right here. We're going to use our trim tool, and we want to go ahead and pop this button. This is the retainer that holds it onto the fan assembly. All right, once we have that out, just follow that harness over. There is an electrical connector right here. Now, there's a gray lock tab on this. What you want to do is we're going to take this tab and we're going to pull it towards the engine, and it actually pivots out, unlocking the harness. I'm going to try using our pocket screwdriver here, and right in the center is going to be a little release. Right here. Basically just need to push it on this tab and release that. And you see that this is going to swing away, and as it swings away, it actually pulls the connector out, releasing it. Once that gray lever is all the way down, you should be able to grab that connector and wiggle that free, just like so. And then pull that up and just tuck that out of the way for now. Now, we have our lower radiator hose right here. There's a plastic retainer. I want to go ahead and release this. And I just pinch these two tabs together right here, and it released that clamp. So we can go ahead and pull that out. Now that we have that harness pushed aside, I want to go ahead and separate the fan assembly from the radiator. Now, right here are two tabs. There's one on the bottom and one on the top. What we're going to do is we're going to pinch these two together and push the fan assembly towards the engine. Sometimes you'll need a pair of pliers to do this. You can just normally do it with your fingers and push that forward, separating like that. Now, there's one on the passenger side. We're going to go ahead and do that as well. Now, we're going to go ahead and push this radiator hose back. I'm going to try and manipulate this clamp back up and in. Now we're going to take this fan assembly and start to gently lift it upward. We're going to pull it up on the driver's side, and then we're going to give it a little tug on the passenger side. And now we're going to try and work our fan assembly up and out of the vehicle. Go ahead and locate the radiator cap. I'm going to twist this counterclockwise. Loosen it, remove it, and set it aside. Now with the vehicle raised and supported, we want to remove our lower splash shield here. This is going to be two plastic retainers. There's one here on the passenger side and then over here on the driver's side. Our driver's side one is missing. I'm going to go ahead and remove this one here using our trim tool. Pop out the center. And once that center comes out so far, then the bottom will come out with it. You're going to repeat the same for the driver's side if you have it. Now there's a series of 10mm bolts holding the rest of this in place. Starting right here in the center, you can use our socket. Just to remove that. Now I'm going to go around the outside perimeter. There's going to be a whole series of these running around, out and around the front and over to the passenger side. I'm going to go ahead and loosen and remove all of those. As you remove this here, the splash shield will be loose. Pull it out. Now just above the petcock, we're going to locate the lower radiator hose on the driver's side. We need to go ahead and pinch this clamp, slide it back, and then we're going to try and pull this hose off of the radiator itself. And grab some pliers here. Just need to slide this back or position it so we can get that hose off. We're able to get to our hose clamp right through this side window here. I'm going to try and twist that hose and start to pull it back. Now you want to be prepared. There might be a little bit of coolant left in this hose here. So if you're pulling from underneath here, make sure you're wearing safety glasses. You want to keep your mouth closed and maybe have that catch can ready to go. Now that we have that hose disconnected down below, we're going to take our fan assembly and we're going to lift it up. Should be able to tilt this up towards the driver's side. Tilt this up and then work that fan assembly up and out. Now before we install our fan assembly, you want to take note at the bottom side here, there's a little tab right here, and this is going to fit into a U channel that's at the bottom of our radiator. So this will interlock with the base tabs on our radiator. There's one on the driver's side as well as the passenger side. Let's go ahead and feed this in. I'm going to feed down the passenger side first. And then we just need to manipulate the driver's side in past these components. Now as we feed the driver's side down, we do need to get the radiator hose up and over. We have our little hose clamp here. work that around. You can actually install that into the clamp now and just leave that locking tab out. Make sure that the radiator fan is interlocked. There it is. You can feel it drop into place. Once this lines up, the mounting tabs on both sides are automatically going to line up. You can pretty much just grab that fan assembly and pull it into the radiator and lock it in. Let's go ahead and grab the fan harness, pull that over. I'm going to line up the connector and put that onto the fan. Once that goes on, push it down. And once you push it down so far, it's automatically going to start to push this lock tab up. As you bring it up, it's going to pull the connector further on and push up till it locks. Then we have the gray retainer right here. Just take that little tab, push it into the fan. Let's go ahead and install the lower radiator hose on the driver's side. Wiggle that in, make sure it's fully seated up against the radiator. Go ahead and grab your pliers. And want to go ahead and move this clamp in. All right, just work that hose clamp on there. Want to make sure that it's positioned appropriately here. Going to slide it back just a little bit. There it is. Let's get a reach down and install the retaining clip for the radiator hose. Let's go ahead and raise up our splash shield here. We just need to get the tabs mounted up underneath. We're going to get our center bolt started here first. The center bolt should generally hold the splash shield in place while we manipulate the rest of the cover into position. I'm going to run across the front lip and install the supporting screws. Once we get these in, we can move to the outer edges there where the wheel wells are. Get that hardware installed. Get this installed on the driver's side, and we'll repeat for the passenger side. We have all of our screws installed. Let's now go ahead and snug them down. Install your plastic push pins. Repeat for the other side. Go ahead and bring our bracket on over, and we're going to install the sensor harness right here. Let's snap this together. Going to hear it and feel it lock into place. And then we're going to bring our support over and press this up in. Has a little retainer on the bracket. All right, so now that we've heard the connector clip together, we do want to make sure that the hood release cable is above the bracket. I'm going to bring this over. Now we need to make sure that the grill or the bumper piece here is up above. So we're going to gently pull this away. Push it down into place, make sure your brackets are pulled out. Line up the holes on the radiator support on the driver and passenger side. Now that this is in place, we're going to go ahead and start to install the 4 bolts holding our bracket. I'm going to come over to the driver's side here and we're going to get our 2 bolts started. All right, now that we have these 2 bolts installed, we're not going to tighten them yet. We want to go ahead and install the 2 on the passenger side next. Now that we have all 4 of these installed, let's now go ahead and tighten them down. I'm going to use my impact gun on the top one. I'm going to zip down the one on the passenger side. Once those 2 top ones are snug, we're going to switch over to our gear wrench. And we'll tighten down the front ones. Make sure they're good and tight. Repeat for the other side. Now we have the 2 brackets here on the front side. There's one here and one to the right of the hood latch assembly. Get these bolts started. These should spin in pretty easily. So I like to run those down as far as I can by hand. And then we'll go ahead and snug those down. Make sure they're good and tight. Next, we want to go ahead and install our plastic air diverters here. There's just that little plastic retainer clip that we had popped out with our pocket screwdriver. All we have to do is line it up with the hole on the radiator support and press it in. You can hear it pop into place. Now, we want to go ahead and install our hood release cable. Let's line that up, press that in. Let's go over to the passenger side and install the air diverter over there. Just pop it into place, just as we did here. Now let's go ahead and install our horns. Reach down, pull these up. We have our little brackets here. I'm going to put my bolt through the bracket and pull our hood release cable up out of the way. Simple enough. Go ahead and get that bolt started in there. I'm going to thread these bolts in as far as I can by hand. Before I tighten it down, we're going to go ahead and repeat for the passenger side. And then we'll come on back and tighten the bolt down. Go ahead and snug those down. And we'll take care of the other side as well. Okay, both of our horns are installed. Let's go ahead and install our air intake tube. The foam end here will insert into the hole on the bottom portion of the air filter box. Could line that up, insert that into place. line up the 2 bolt holes on the top of the radiator support. Then we'll go ahead and get our bolts started. Now these do have metal sleeve inserts. It is safe to go ahead, if you want to, use your impact driver. Just be careful tightening them down. You just want to snug them. Let's go ahead and attach our bumper cover to the support. We're going to push this in a little bit, get it to line up. We're going to start with a plastic push pin right here on the far outer end. Press that in. Go ahead and get your bolts started. Let's get those started by hand, a few threads. And we're going to run right across the front. So there's bolt number 2, bolt number 3, and bolt number 4. Grab the last plastic push pin, line this up, and snap it in. Now let's come on back and tighten these down. Install the upper cover here. Install your plastic push button retainers. When installing these here, you do have to make sure that the center button is pushed up. You kind of hold it by the center button, push in the base. These can be a little tricky. Make sure that the little tabs go inside the hole. Press it down to lock. Go ahead and grab that radiator cap. Line up those tabs, lock that on. Wipe up any residual coolant that we might have here. Now at this point here, you want to go ahead and hop into the vehicle, start it up. Let it run for about 15-20 minutes. You can go for road test if you want. Come on back and you want to go ahead and check the expansion tank over here on the passenger side. Never open up the radiator cap when it's hot, but check the level on the expansion tank and see if it is low or high. And if you need to, you can top it off by simply popping off the cap here. Add coolant through the cap. Put that back on. At that point there, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.